Tonight on News 5 Live, Prime Minister John Briceño's recent trip to Venezuela yields $250 million in savings on Belize's Petrocaribe debt. Byron Herrera is shot and killed in Sugar City. And Patrick Faber vows to run independent should he not be allowed to run under the United Democratic Party banner. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
We have breaking news from Channel 5 on Coney Drive. I repeat, we can confirm that the delivery of this Christmas package is almost complete. The most critical phase is about to commence. That is, getting it delivered in time.
May the gift of peace, the gift of joy, shine bright for you and your loved ones this Christmas and in the new year.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
The deals continue this massive season. Starting December 12th until December 24th, it's 12 straight days of massive deals with up to 25% off on selected items each day. From grills to appliances and more, every day you get a new opportunity to take advantage of new items on sale. Check out our website and social media platforms for updates each day. Deals, B-Bucks, rewards, everything is massive this season at Benny's.
Make effortless memories with a Christmas loan from St. John's Credit Union Limited. Members can qualify for up to 3 times their monthly salary. Promotion runs from October 15th to December 15th. Call any of our St. John's Credit Union offices in Belize City, Belmopan, or Dangriga to book your appointment to make your dream Christmas a reality. St. John's Credit Union Limited. Safe saving, smart borrowing.
Ray, what's wrong? It's him. again. Oh my gosh. This time it was worse. He slammed my face in the wall and threatened to kill me. If you or someone you know is experiencing family violence, call 0800 A Way Out. Or you can text or WhatsApp to 672-9628.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Monday, December 12th. I am Sabrina Daly. There is major news coming out of the Prime Minister's visit to Venezuela a few weeks ago. As we have reported, during his recent trip, Prime Minister John Briceño met with Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro and discussed the close relations between both countries. Among the matters deliberated during that visit was Belize's debt to Venezuela under the Petrocaribe program. Belize owes Venezuela just over $500 million under that initiative. Well, this morning, Prime Minister Briceño announced that negotiations with Venezuela have successfully yielded the restructuring of the debt. As a result of those talks, the Petrocaribe debt will be reduced by more than $250 million. It's a significant haircut that PM Briceño says will bring down Belize's debt to GDP ratio by another 6%.
I am therefore especially pleased to announce today yet another decisive step in our campaign to reverse the fiscal and debt crisis left us by the United Democratic Party government. Belize and Venezuela, President Maduro and I, on behalf of Venezuela and Belize, have agreed on restructuring the terms for Petrocaribe debts, which will reduce the amount Belize owes under Petrocaribe by anywhere between Belize $267 million and $327 million. As I said earlier, we still have to balance the books between Belize and Venezuela. Belize's debt to GDP will therefore fall by another 6 to 7 percentage points. At such time that Belize can pay Venezuela, we will pay back this much reduced amount and do so from the date of our new agreement on the original terms provided for under Petrocaribe, which is at an interest rate of 2%, with a repayment period of 25 years and a principal moratorium of 2 years. We renegotiated everything and even give us a new start date. This is incredible. I don't think the one over our side would ever think that something like this could have been possible. Only people and the talk was right.
And while negotiations with Venezuela have saved taxpayers millions of dollars, the government of Belize presented its fourth supplementary appropriation bill for this fiscal year before today. The need for additional funds was triggered primarily by the devastation left behind in the wake of Hurricane Lisa. The government of Belize sought authorization for the use of $25 million to conduct repairs to homes, road infrastructures, and the Belize Defense Force living quarters at Price Barracks. According to Prime Minister Briceño, the monies will also be used for the continuation of the grocery bag program to residents in the Belize district.
We seek authorization for almost $25 million funding for hurricane relief and recovery efforts. This includes, but it is not limited to, $2.3 million for additional grocery bag food assistance, primarily for Belize District. 2, 3.2 million for NEMO-related emergency relief expenditures on various supplies, including mattresses and other essentials, as well as funding for fuel and other supplies to support the BDF's assistance in emergency cleanup and related efforts in connection with Hurricane Lisa. 3.2 million in emergency relief, including home repair supplies like zinc and plywood to those most affected by Hurricane Lisa in constituencies in the Belize District. 4, 2.7 million for major repair and reconstruction works at Price Barracks in Ladyville and other national defense facilities. You should see the appalling conditions that the BDF is living in. I mean, it's shameful that we had Petro-Caribbean money, we had the oil money, over $1 billion, and they did nothing to try to fix the living facilities of the BDF. Have you visited their facilities? Weren't you ashamed? Weren't you ashamed? I mean, like mothers, man. 5, 6 million to support housing relief and construction, and 5.4 million for emergency cleanup and repairs to road infrastructure. While addressing relief and recovery efforts, other pressing demands continue to arise. The higher cost of fuel and other goods and services has meant that recurrent expenditures have gone up.
Leader of the opposition, Moses Shine Barrow, responded to Prime Minister Briceño's supplementary budget presentation with assertions that Hurricane Lisa is being used as an opportunity to, quote, fleece the national coffers, end quote. Sparks flew across the aisle when Barrow questioned the Prime Minister about the purchase of a vehicle currently in the PM's use. Here's how that played out.
What it appears in this supplementary is that the Hurricane Lisa is being used as an opportunity to fleece the national coffers. When you go through this supplementary, Madam Speaker, this has to be the worst administration in as far as budget and planning, which is a very important part of the Ministry of Finance. And that is what I used to think. But I pay attention. I may not be as smart as the member from Cayo South. I'm not an intellect like him. But I pay attention. And what I have realized, Madam Speaker, is it's not bad budgeting. It is that the bogus budget, as I rightfully deemed it, that was presented in this honorable House was just that. You're spending about $3 million on new vehicles. I see you have a new white 2024 or 2023 Land Cruiser out there that costs $500,000. That is, I don't know if you paid for it or that is a part of this supplementary.
Making yourself a
well, I am asking. No. Sit down. What is your point of order?
Members.
What is your point of order?
Wait. Leader of Opposition. 1 second. Leader of Opposition. Leader of Opposition. I am speaking. I don't need to stand, sir. Kindly sit.
Okay.
The Leader of the Opposition making false accusations in this National Assembly. And the point is, when he's talking about a vehicle that I'm driving, the government of Belize has not bought me a vehicle. I've been using my personal vehicles from the day I was elected.
The Caribbean Development Bank has agreed to loan the Development Finance Corporation $12 million Belize dollars to support the financing of the tertiary education in Belize. DFC, however, must first obtain the approval of the National Assembly to increase its foreign debt. As a result, this morning, a loan motion to this end was brought to the House of Representatives. This motion raised a debate about the cost of tertiary education financing in Belize and hurdles financially challenged families face.
I have gone on record in this honorable house to speak of the importance of our students, in particular, those at the tertiary level, having access to education. So I have no difficulty in supporting this attempt. What I would like to clarify, or I would like a commitment from, is what I had recommended in this honorable house, is changing the terms that the DFC offers, in particular to students from financially challenged backgrounds. So you can have this 12 million Belize, 6 million US available, but there are still hurdles to those from impoverished, financially challenged households.
We had a very engaging discussion about our government's priorities and the direction, the sense of direction we wanted the DFC to take. And high on that agenda, and one of our top priorities, of course, was education. How can we provide more opportunities for education? How can we ensure that through DFC's respective portfolios and windows, financing windows, that they would be able to provide more low-cost access to financing for our students at different levels, but obviously a specific focus on higher education, in this case tertiary education. It's targeted financing so that the DFC, working along with the Ministry of Education, understands that there are priority areas for development, for the economic development of Belize, for the national development of Belize. And so there are specific areas that we want to have these loans targeted in terms of education. For example, engineering is a critical area, agriculture is a critical area. How do we ensure that more of our students have access to educational opportunities in agriculture, in engineering, in areas that are in IT as well.
Again, the funds will be used to facilitate the financing of DFC's student loan program. And as another loan to the DFC, the International Cooperation and Development Fund, Taiwan, ICDF, has agreed to loan the DFC $10 million to support micro, small and medium enterprises, MSME. The facility is part of Taiwan's ICDF efforts to support the recovery of MSMEs after the COVID-19 pandemic, with a focus on women and green financing. The loan will also be accompanied by a grant component of $1 million to facilitate DFC's efforts to strengthen its digitization capabilities. The loan motion was presented during today's House meeting.
Madam Speaker, again, another loan, and it must be recorded the hypocrisy of the Briceño administration, the PUP administration, who I think you have confused the UDP Borough administration with when you were Deputy Prime Minister and the Saeed Musa administration. Yes, hang your head, you should hang your head in shame, because that is when the runaway spending from borrowing money took place. That is when, as my colleague from Collett mentioned, he didn't want to venture down history of the DFC going bankrupt. The other point I would like to make before closing, Madam Speaker, is, again, access. It is very well that you have the program for the small businesses, but access is key for the rural areas and for those vulnerable communities, even in the towns and cities, to make sure that those vulnerable citizens get to participate in this, and it's not just the era representatives, friends and cronies that get to benefit from this investment.
All of us should know, the honorable leader of the opposition know about the rural areas. When your father, your UDP government, you were part, wait, okay, finish. When you were talking, I listened. The former UDP Prime Minister, of former UDP government, of which you were a part of. Yes, you were the music ambassador. And what did you do for the musicians? What did you do for culture? Just collect one salary and did nothing. So, anyway, they were the ones that have that abandoned the rural areas, Madam Speaker. We have been, you could ask all our colleagues, what that the UDP did for the rural areas. They did zero for them. They abandoned them.
Coming up, Byron Herrera executed in Orange Walk Town. More details when we return.
Season's greetings from all of us at Atlantic Insurance, wishing you the gift of faith, the blessing of hope, and the wonder of this holiday season at Christmas and in the new year. This holiday season, whether you're in the driver's seat or walking down the street, always respect the rules of the road. Do not speed, do not drink and drive, drive safely, and enjoy this holiday season with your loved ones. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and your family from all of us at Atlantic Insurance.
Belize Medical Associates is now equipped with the only advanced MRI machine in the country. The machine uses a powerful magnetic field, radio waves, and a computer to produce detailed pictures of the body's internal structures that are clearer, more detailed, and more likely to identify and accurately characterize diseases than other imaging methods. It is used to evaluate the body for a variety of conditions, particularly of the brain and spinal cord, but can be used for other conditions such as tumors and diseases of the liver, heart, and bowel. It may also be used to monitor an unborn child in the womb. MRI is non-invasive and does not use ionizing radiation. This means that you no longer have to travel abroad. You now have access to the most advanced imaging equipment in a professional setting that is designed for your ease and comfort. BMA remains committed to providing outstanding patient care, combining excellence in clinical imaging with state-of-the-art technology. To learn more about the MRI machine or to schedule an appointment, call 223-0303 today. Belize Medical Associates, we do care.
Win cash this Christmas with Dutch Lady. 4 winners of $1,000 cash. Purchase any of the listed items. Dutch Lady Skim, Dutch Lady Powder Milk, Dutch Lady Toddler Growing Up Milk. Get a chance to enter and win $1,000 cash. Tickets are attached to products. Just simply fill in and drop in raffle boxes or scan QR code and enter special code provided. 4 winners of $1,000 cash each this Christmas with Dutch Lady. Participating stores: Bottom Dollar, Save You, Twins, 88, DK, and U-Mall, Kyle, Helen's, Sansco, New Flags, ABC, Corozal, One Mall, Orange Walk, The People's Store, 123 Supermarket, Dickerson Supermarket, San Pedro, Island City Supermarket, Belmopan, The Mall, Everyday Supermarket in Placencia, and Best Choice in Mango Creek. Dutch Lady, building strong families since 1871. Exclusively distributed by Santiago Castillo Limited.
I had a black dog. His name was Depression. Whenever the black dog made an appearance, I felt empty and life just seemed to slow down. He could surprise me with a visit for no reason or occasion. The black dog made me look and feel older than my years. When the rest of the world seemed to be enjoying life, I could only see it through the black dog. Activities that usually brought me pleasure suddenly ceased to. He liked to ruin my appetite. He chewed up my memory and my ability to concentrate. Doing anything or going anywhere with the black dog required superhuman strength. At social occasions, he'd sniff out what confidence I had and chase it away. My biggest fear was being found out. I worried that people would judge me. Because of the shame and stigma of the black dog, I was constantly worried that I'd be found out. So I invested vast amounts of energy into covering him up. Keeping up an emotional lie is exhausting. Black Dog could make me think and say negative things. He could make me irritable and difficult to be around. He would take my love and bury my intimacy. He loved nothing more than to wake me up with highly repetitive and negative thinking. He also liked to remind me how exhausted I was going to be the next day. Having a black dog in your life isn't so much about feeling a bit down, sad or blue. At its worst, it's about being devoid of feeling altogether. As I got older, the black dog got bigger and he started hanging around all the time. I'd chase him off with whatever I thought might send him running. But more often than not, he'd come out on top. Going down became easier than getting up again. So I became rather good at self-medication, which never really helped. Eventually, I felt totally isolated from everything and everyone. The black dog had finally succeeded in hijacking my life. When you lose all joy in life, you can begin to question what the point of it is. Thankfully, this was the time that I sought professional help. This was my first step towards recovery and a major turning point in my life. I learned that it doesn't matter who you are, the black dog affects millions and millions of people. It is an equal opportunity mongrel. I also learned that there was no silver bullet or magic pill. Medication can help some, and others might need a different approach altogether. I also learned that being emotionally genuine and authentic to those who are close to you can be an absolute game changer. Most importantly, I learnt not to be afraid of the black dog, and I taught him a few new tricks of my own. The more tired and stressed you are, the louder he barks, so it's important to learn how to quiet your mind. It's been clinically proven that regular exercise can be as effective for treating mild to moderate depression as antidepressants, so go for a walk or a run and leave the mutt behind. Keep a mood journal. Getting your thoughts on paper can be cathartic and often insightful. Also keep track of the things that you have to be grateful for. The most important thing to remember is that no matter how bad it gets, if you take the right steps, talk to the right people, black dog days can and will pass. I wouldn't say that I'm grateful for the black dog, but he's been an incredible teacher. He forced me to reevaluate and simplify my life. I learnt that rather than running away from my problems, it's better to embrace them. The black dog may always be part of my life, but he'll never be the beast that he was. We have an understanding. I've learned through knowledge, patience, discipline and humour, the worst black dog can be made to heal. If you're in difficulty, never be afraid to ask for help. There is absolutely no shame in doing so. The only shame is missing out on life.
This morning, the father of Orange Walk's latest murder victim was at the cemetery in that northern municipality, taking measurements and preparing to lay his son to rest. On Saturday night, shots rang out in an area just beyond the People's Stadium in Orange Walk. Byron Herrera had been killed by at least one gunman who opened fire on him. The deceased received multiple gunshot wounds to his body and was found beside a black scooter. News 5's Dwayne Moody headed north today and files this story.
Just before 11 o'clock on Saturday night, a barrage of bullets rang out on San Francisco Street in Orange Walk town. When the shooting subsided, 27-year-old Byron Herrera lay dead beneath an elevated wooden house. It happened so quickly. According to Bernard Herrera, he received the dreaded call and rushed to the location where his son was fatally injured.
I jumped in my car with my sleeping clothes and everything, and I went out there. When I went out there, the police, they just reached about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and they didn't want to let me go and see him. But from standing on the street, I could see a body under the house. And I said, man, I just pray, man, I hope that's not my son, I hope that's not my son, I hope that's somebody else. Yeah, and all the while, I got faith. I said, man, it can't be him. because he no lived at the house. Yeah, he never lived at the house. Yeah, it's for him the house.
His worst fear was confirmed when he identified his son a few minutes before he was transported to the Northern Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead.
When I went there and they take out the body, got him in this body bag, and then when they zip the face, I said, "That's my son." I told her, "Yes, that's my son, that's my son, that's my son." I hugged him up and I kissed him, yeah. But from where I see, from the when he was under the house, I just could see some bullet wounds in the back. It looked like they turned him like that, or he fell like that. But I think they heist up his shirt, and I just see some bullet, just some red spot. Cause he never bleed a lot on the ground. Yeah, just some lot of red spot. And I say, my God, what they do this? Man, how could they do this to my son, man?
So who would want Byron dead and why?
You heard a lot of things. You heard it's for the love thing. You hear it's drugs. You hear it's for shooting. All kind of thing you hear.
What are the police saying?
Well, to where he about the shooting. No, let's say that the guys look like they were waiting for him. Yeah. But how the guys know that he would have been there, like it puzzles me, right? You understand me? So
you think he was set up, maybe?
I think he was set up because I think he's smarter than that. I think it was set up by someone who gets set up. Yeah, where me trust, because when I went to the house, the cycle where me depend was parked in front of the step, and then where the entrance of the yard is, where the police say the bullet might have come from, he could see the people, he could see clearly, which make I believe again it was somebody he knew. A barrage of bullet, no, he can't escape all of that, yeah. No. So he fell, and when he fell, according to the police, that is, it looked to them like the shooter or shooters. Yeah, because they say it was about 20 rounds, something like that, fire, yeah, stand over him and, yeah, start firing shot.
And while there are several theories as to why Byron may have been murdered, his father confirmed to News 5 that several threats were made on his son's life prior to the deadly shooting. Most recently, the house where the murder happened had been targeted by gunmen.
They threatened his life about 2 times or so before that. So he not really stay around there. He not really there on the street that night. So it may surprise to me what he did do there. Where I believe that maybe somebody set him up or something like that. Prior to this one here, I think it was 3 weeks ago, they went and shoot the house. Yeah, they went and shoot the house. He was not there. But you see, Byron, a person where he keep like secret things from his family. Yeah, his friend know more than us about his enemy and his movements and what he do, even where he put it, where he put it, maybe he got some stuff to hide. His friends know more that more. He no disclose them kind of information to his family. None at all.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
8-year-old Stephen Carrion, a resident of Denver, Colorado, is tonight hospitalized in a critical condition after an accident in Bermudian Landing last Tuesday. The boy was visiting Belize along with his family on a Carnival cruise line when they went on a horseback riding tour of the village. The fun family tour of the community somehow ended with a terrifying accident. The saddle on a horse was flipped and Stephen was being dragged by the foot down a path. Today, the Belize Tourism Board issued a statement saying that it is aware of the incident that occurred. But as this accident is an ongoing investigation, they, quote, cannot discuss the details and any questions should be directed to the Belize Police Department. The safety and security of all guests visiting Belize remain our top priority, unquote. Over the weekend, Stephen's mother, Haiti Carrion, spoke with Denver ABC 7, where she was asking for help to transport her son to the U.S. Here's that report.
A Denver boy is fighting for his life in Belize after a horseback riding accident while on vacation. Christian Lopez spoke to the boy's mom, who's pleading for help to get him back home to Colorado as quickly as possible.
My family and I went on our first ever cruise through Carnival, and Belize was one of the stops.
What was supposed to be a fun family vacation,
We planned to go to a monkey sanctuary, and the tour included a horseback ride.
took a terrifying turn for this Denver family.
I heard yelling, and I looked over, and I see this horse coming from where everybody goes to go on the trail or whatever back down the road towards us. And as it's running past, I see that the saddle is flipped and that my son is being dragged by his foot. My older daughter and I, started yelling and screaming and running as fast as we could to get to him, but that horse was really fast.
She says thankfully someone jumped in a car and stopped the horse down the road. 8-year-old Stephen Kirian is now in a Belize hospital fighting for his life. His family working as hard as they can to get him back to Colorado.
He's hanging in there. He's not gonna make it if he stays out here. He really wants to come home. This morning he was just crying and begging me to get him home.
Launching this GoFundMe to help cover the cost to get him home.
He needs a medical aircraft with medical personnel that can monitor him and administer his medications, watch his brain activity, all of that stuff.
Stefan's mom, Heidi, says that will cost at least $40,000. She's pleading for the community's help.
As a mom, it's the most critical thing. It's all I can think about. I will do anything to get my son home. All I care about is him living. And I know if I can get him to a place that has the resources, he's going to live, and we will work through everything else. I don't want to lose my son. And if anybody knows somebody that will go get him and bring him home, that works too. I don't care. I want to get him home.
Reporting in Denver, Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Peak Medevac, an air ambulance service in Inglewood, Colorado, has offered to airlift Stefan to the United States free of cost. The company's registry has gone digital, and you'll get to hear all about the ease of access that the medium provides for registered business owners who want to access their business profiles from wherever they are. The online service also comes about as a result of the merging of local and international companies' registries. But part of that online service now provides a new layer of protection for companies or confidentiality on its particulars. So, for example, when the media wants to research online how a company entered into a contract with the government to do a particular project, it would have to go through an agent that is hired by the company they are doing the research on. Today, that question was posed to Prime Minister John Briceño, and he explained that the confidentiality that is provided for businesses did not come out of any menacing intent.
There was no sinister plan to try to hide. So we want to hide things from everybody else. So some members in the media and the public have been suggesting it was simply that we have been forced to do what we are doing right now. The OECD or the European Union, the countries from the European Union are trying to tighten up on the IBCs, international business companies. And so they are telling us that if we don't want to be blacklisted, then we have to find a way how we can combine both registries, that you cannot have one that pays a certain tax rate and then the other one that pays a different tax rate. So we figured then the best way is to be able to amalgamate both registries as one. I don't deal with the IBCs. I don't own an IBCs. And so we never thought or felt it was an issue when it comes to the issue of the registered agents, that if a person is setting up his company, he or she can decide whether they want to have a registered agent or not. When it comes to government finances, we are making sure that there's going to be openness and transparency, and we're going to start with policy tomorrow when presented to government, to cabinet. And I've already spoken to a number of ministers, and all of them agree with it. And secondly, to change the law so that that cannot happen.
The Online Business Registry System, OBRS, was officially launched on Friday night for people who do business in Belize and for those who wish to start. It serves to complement the work of the Belize Companies and Corporate Affairs Registry, which was established in July of this year to provide companies and business registration services in Belize. The online tool aims to make all that was once available only manually accessible at the click of a key or button on your digital device, creating ease of access to any registered business owner within or outside of the country who wish to access their business profile. But while it also allows for certain information to be made available to the public, it offers businesses protection from identity theft and other cyber crimes. News 5's Marian Ali was on hand for the launch at the Best Western Belize Biltmore Plaza Hotel and filed this report.
Over the past 8 months, the Belize Companies and Corporate Affairs Registry, BCAR, has registered more than 18,000 local and international businesses. And on Friday night, the online service that caters to those businesses and anyone wishing to find out about registered companies was officially introduced. Director General of the Financial Services Commission, Claude Haylock, explained what services can be accessed through the online provision.
The OBRS is a web-based platform to facilitate online registration for all business entities, post-registration services, electronic filing, and the production of e-certificates, and which are all verifiable via the system. The system is, in effect, the vital statistics platform for business entity data and information in Belize.
Santiago Gonzalez is the Deputy Registrar of the Belize Companies and Corporate Affairs Registry BCAR, which launched the online service. He explained that many business owners were frustrated with the analog system that is now being replaced with the online services.
You hear the frustration of the public. You meet people from PG. Then you start listening and start hearing that, that's why I don't register my business. We were at the road show with Bell Trade, and, we realized a lot of the older folks, they would pay up to $300. So just imagine, $300 for a business name that costs $25. So definitely the system will help with the ease of doing business.
The Norway Registers Development, an international group of companies that has existed for the past 25 years and specializes in registering companies worldwide, was the consultant for this project. Its CEO is Mindaugas Glodas.
We deliver technology, but we also deliver knowledge how to best transition, I would call old-fashioned paper-based processes into the digital world. We have developed the IT system that actually corresponds to the requirements of the new law. And the new law provides for certain procedures how old companies will be registered. So there were no digitization of old data, but I understand that the companies will be re-registering onto the new system. There is a window open now for a certain period of time for these companies to re-register.
This kind of service has been on the wish list of the Belize International Financial Services Association for a long time now, for the time efficiencies that online services offer. But the president of that association, Reynaldo Magana, agreed that attorneys have complained that the added layer of protection that this online service provides to companies prohibits them from conducting company searches in their line of work.
I have spoken to a few of them, and indeed there has been some comments in that regard. From my understanding, there can be made tweaks, as you say. So again, it's a matter of dialogue to bring them up, and I'm not the person to say whether it will be done or not, but I'm quite confident that it will be addressed.
The transitional period for companies to comply with the provisions of the new act will be determined and announced in the near future. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
The Online Companies Registry should provide ease of access to registered companies and business owners, but it should not create any kind of ease for people who want to engage in fraudulent businesses. President of the Belize International Financial Services Association, Ronaldo Magana says it takes a few in-depth procedures to license a company. And Santiago Gonzalez said the information can be had if the media makes the request to investigate a suspicious or fake company.
There's a very rigorous process to get a license. So vetting, compliance, I mean, everything is going to be checked out. You're going to be scrubbed down, quite sure, from the FSC. And so in getting a license to anybody who wants to just do mischief like that, I believe it's going to be a very hard process.
I work with the Attorney General, and they have a specific way of requesting information, and even from us, from the registry. You know, there's a specific way they go, and this is what we would like, and this is the reason why we would like it. So, again, for me, that's the perfect way of doing it. You know, we know that it's coming from the legal entity. This is what I want, and this is what is happening. That's the way I'm working.
Before now, there have been businesses that were registered, but whose actual owners were not the persons whose names were on the register. And in particular instances, there are sometimes suspicious conflicts of interest as it pertains to shadow companies that enter into contract, that is, with the government. A classic example of this occurred when a question was raised prior to the 2020 general elections with regard to the Brad's Bolito contract. Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance, Chris Coyes, said he would recommend that there be full disclosure of all parties involved in those companies.
Any person or entity that looks to conduct business or enter into any contract with the government should fully and absolutely disclose directors, shareholders, and ultimate beneficial owners. That would deal with that problem immediately, directly, and in a simple manner. Now, that was not available, that was not done when it concerned the Bolito contract, and so you have that problem. But if that was done, you wouldn't even have to try and find anything in, where is it, St. Lucia, or wherever it was. I'm saying that it would be my suggestion that there is full and absolute public disclosure for any contractor with the government.
After the break, Patrick Faber plans to run independent if he's refused by the United Democratic Party.
Don't know what to get a special someone for Christmas? Habet and Habet and Brothers Habet have you covered this Christmas.
Season greetings. Hey Dad, remember the shelves you made to tell me about? Yo, Corey, you got anything to make us saw? Hey guys, your favorite saw daddy here. Back with a brand new saw from Brothers Habet. My wife got this for me for Christmas. The salmon is here.
All month long, give the gift of power with 15% off all power tools, 15% off all decorative paints, 15% off all sunlight windows and doors, 20% off all mirrors, and 15 to 60% off Westinghouse and design house light fixtures. Plus, with every $50 you spend, you get a chance to win a $500 gift certificate every day in our Big 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. So come in today and save big. A merry and safe Christmas from the family at Habet and Habet and Brothers Habet.
Yo, Jamrock, search you anything right now.
My lights, yeah. Go to my lights, go to my lights. You gotta go to my lights, yeah. I wanna shine, 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 shine. I hit my lights cause that's my plan, 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 plan. My lights have your favorite brand, 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 brand. Just come with nothing in your hands, 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 hands. My lights, and it goes on and on and on. It goes on and on and on, yeah. I wanna celebrate with my lights, sing yeah, yo, baby let's go. My lights, I wanna celebrate with my lights, sing yeah, yo, baby let's go. We going to the stars, what we gon' do right? We gon' light a life, only with my light. We going to the stars, what we gon' do right? We gon' light a life, only with my light.
Digi will be giving away over $50,000 in cash and prizes this Christmas, and we want you to help us spread the holiday cheer. This season, every prize winner gets the opportunity to pay it forward to a family or friend. It's easy. You win, and you select someone to win the same prize. Now that's exciting. This Christmas, be gifted and pay it forward only with Digi. Season's greetings from our national telecom.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop.
Suncast Supermarkets is rocking this Christmas. Win $20,000 in cash and prizes, $5,000 per store. People's Store, Orange Walk, Bottom Dollar, and Save You in Belize. A total of $15,000 cash giveaway. And get a chance to win one of 5 gift baskets as consolation prizes. $20,000 cash giveaway and prizes this Christmas only at Suncast Supermarkets. For every $25 purchase, you get a raffle ticket to enter and win. Drop tickets in the respective raffle box. Check to see if you're one of the lucky winners on December 23rd at 10 a.m. live on Suncast's Facebook page. The management and staff wishes all a safe and blessed holiday season.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop.
The Central Bank of Belize and the IMF estimate that at the close of this year, 2022, Belize's debt to GDP ratio will have been reduced to around, drumroll, to around 63%. 63%. You could clap, you could clap. This is less than half of where it stood when we took office 2 years ago. There is no other country in the world that can lay claim to this kind of historic debt turnaround. None. None.
Estranged politician Patrick Faber says he will run independent in Colette if the UDP does not allow him to contest the next general elections under its banner. We caught up with the area representative for Colette at today's House meeting in Belmopan. Surprisingly, he attended the meeting and sat at the end of the opposition side of the aisle, despite his strained relationship with his party leader. In fact, according to Faber, he and Barrow do not speak any at all. When asked about his elected position in the party, he placed on record that he has all intentions of running in the Colette constituency in the next general election, with or without the UDP's support.
This party is now a runaway train. The leader does whatever he wants. The chairman supports him in the nonsense that he does. And as a result of that, the kind of hope that you have that we could sit down at the table and have reasonable discussions and that reasonable people, reasonable minds will prevail it doesn't seem to be possible. So again, I repeat, I am a UDP. I love my party. I'm elected on the party's banner. So I don't want anybody to say that I am leaving the UDP. I am in this party. In fact, they took me off the National Party Council chat group, and they can't do that. Another indication that they're crazy. This party is just doing, the leadership is just doing what it wants to do. I am an elected member of the National Assembly under the UDP, so they can't take me out of the National Party Council, even if they endorse a standard bearer. And that's complete nonsense. But again, the reasonable minds don't seem to be prevailing here, and so I don't see how it can work. But I am going to run in the Collier area, so if the UDP doesn't want that to happen, then I'm going to run independent if they don't want me to run under the UDP banner.
Faber also gave his take on the latest dilemma that his UDP colleague and intra-party rival, John Saldivar, has found himself in with the U.S. Department of State's designation. Faber says Saldivar will have an uphill battle eluding the perception of corruption that has stained his image. He further noted that the UDP must also rid itself of such an image. Here is how he puts it.
I think that where we see very clearly the perception that there is a corruption, the U.S. knows well, in my view. I think one U.S. news media outlet actually went further than what the U.S. Release had said and went very specific on some of the things. But that made you understand that it is not something that is targeted against Mr. Saldivar alone here. That is a part of a bigger effort of the U.S. In fact, you saw other people who were involved with Lev Derman being ostracized in different ways. And so it is that anybody who was connected to that case, the U.S. feels they have to be dealt with. And so it just so happens that Mr. Saldivar is here and is a foreign politician, and that is the way that they can ostracize him or punish him for what they believe was his role in the whole scamming of the taxes for the U.S. government.
Sir, however, these are maybe probables, but it does appear that Saldivar still has significant support if he was able to get signatures to call an emergency NPC. If in fact he gets the support from them to overturn the special committee's decision, what would you think of the UDP?
Well, what everybody would think. I think it is very clear that people have the perception that Mr. Saldivar is severely corrupt. And if he's able to get the vote to go his way on Saturday or whenever the meeting is, it will say about the UDP that even though you tried with the special nomination, special committee, that you're weak and that maybe you're not serious about eradicating corruption, or you're not serious about ever winning the next election, and that is ultimately what matters here. You know, yes, the party could do what it wants. The party could, in a virtual NPC, select Mr. Saldivar to go back. The party could select a lot of these failed candidates who have the same perception nationally, or even if they feel maybe it's not corruption, but that they're genuinely weak as candidates. The party could force those persons on the electorate all we want, you know. Ultimately, we're not going to win, so we have to decide what is it we want. Do we want to put forward our best foot and have people believe that we're serious, or do we want to be a joke and a laughing stock for the people out there?
Prime Minister John Briceño has received the presidency pro tempore of the Central American Integration System from President Luis Rodolfo Abinader Corona of the Dominican Republic. The conferral of the pro tem leadership of SICA took place at the 56th meeting of heads of state and government of SICA, which was held in Santiago de Caballeros of Dominican Republic. As pro tem president, Prime Minister Briceño will guide the regional integration process based on 5 pillars of SICA integration, including economic and social integration, institutional strengthening, democratic security, climate change, and sustainable development. Belize's presidency will be for the first 6 months of 2023. The country last held a pro tem presidency of SICA in 2018. At the opening of today's sitting of the House of Representatives, Prime Minister John Briceño acknowledged the contributions of former POP minister, the late Sylvia Flores. PM Briceño recounted his last visit with Flores back in November during the Garifuna Settlement Day celebrations in Dangriga.
Please allow me a minute to also acknowledge the life of Sylvia Flores, an outstanding Belizean, and many of us think about her as this trailblazer as a woman. But more than anything else, she was this great, outstanding Belizean leader, a leader that was never afraid to stand up for her people, the people that she represents. We know she was one of the most successful mayors that Dangriga has had, Speaker, President of the Senate, the representative, minister in government, pretty much everything you could name in public service, Sylvia Flores did, and did it to a very high standard. We all recognize that Sylvia came from the very same cloth of George Price, a leader that served with humility, a leader that was never concerned about personal wealth, but about the wealth of her people and her country. And it can never be accused of Sylvia having a mean bone in her body or to try to have done anything, any kind of decision because she or her siblings would have benefited. And she's a wonderful example of what a true public servant is. I had the blessings, I would say, that on the 19th on November when I was there celebrating Garifuna Settlement Day along with the people in the South, that Louis insisted that I go and visit Sylvia at home. And Sharon, her daughter, was amazed because Miss Sylvia was already starting to lose her memory and in many instances could not recognize people. But she recognized me and said, Prime Minister, how are you doing? And we talked a little bit about the work that we're doing, and she continued to encourage myself as the leader, as the Prime Minister, the leader of the party.
Moses Shine Barrow, the leader of the opposition, also sent his regards to the family of the late Sylvia Flores. Christmas is here, and so is the government of Belize's Christmas Assistance Program. The Briceño administration has allocated $2.5 million to be divided among all 31 constituencies. PM Briceño confirmed this in a brief comment he gave to us earlier today.
Yes, we'll be doing it. We've already approved it. I don't remember the exact number. I think it's somewhere around 75,000, which is less than last year. And then everybody's going, all constituencies are getting it.
When we return, Chamber says minimum wage should be phased in.
My name is Carlton Jack Young, and I've been fishing in these waters for over 40 years. I used to work fishing when I was about 15 years old. I was the #1 fisherman for the Coop for many years. I was a member of the Fishery Advisory Board who makes decisions on these fishing areas.
Fishermen like Jack Young can tell you about a time when it seemed Belize's bounty was never ending.
And when we get alongside the boat and we check, we had 100 mutton snappers.
But he can also tell you about the alarming differences in the number of available reef fish, such as the Nassau grouper, from then to now.
The fishermen, they go out there and they sit there for hours before they could catch some of them. They are not there like they used to.
Nassau groupers reproduce between the months of December and March. To ensure a good catch the following season, fishing of Nassau groupers is closed during the spawning season and carefully regulated the rest of the year. During the open fishing season, Nassau groupers must be landed whole and may not be less than 20 inches or greater than 30 inches.
In Belize, there are 13 spawning aggregation sites where Nassau groupers and other reef fish are protected. These are Rocky Point, Monga Key, Dog Flea, Key Buckell, Northern Two Key, Sandbore, South Point, Key Glory or Emily, Northeast Point, Gladden Spit, Nicholas Key, Seal Key, and Rise and Fall Bank. Consumers have a part to play as well. By declining to purchase the critically endangered Nassau grouper, especially non-regulation size, you help ensure populations have a chance to restock. By adhering to regulations and protecting spawning sites, we can support fish stock replenishment and the livelihoods of future fishermen.
If they do it the right way, we might have it for a little longer. But if they don't do proper control, we'll lose it entirely.
Welcome to Design Depot, home of Sherwin-Williams Paint. Sherwin-Williams Paint is one of the most reputable paints in the industry, known for its superior quality, durability, and environmentally friendly technology. We carry a large variety of products for all your home and commercial needs, such as interior and exterior paints, primers, wood stains, sealers, clear top coats, caulking, aerosols, concrete, and masonry products. Achieve professional-looking results with ease using Sherwin-Williams paint and coating. Available at Design Depot, all in one place.
Knowing your HIV status is now easier than ever.
Did you know that you can test for HIV in the comfort of your own home by simply swabbing your gums?
OraQuick is an in-home HIV test that can provide you with results in just 20 minutes. The test detects HIV antibodies with over 99% accuracy and is trusted by healthcare professionals worldwide.
If you receive a positive result, you should contact your nearest healthcare clinic to perform follow-up testing and to get advice on what to do to stay healthy.
And even if you get a negative result, remember, it is important to continue protecting yourself from HIV and other STIs. Using a condom correctly every time you have sex is the best way to do so.
HIV self-testing kit is convenient, reliable, and now available in Belize. Your test, your way. Bob.
For more information on where HIV self-testing kits will be available, please contact the National AIDS Commission, the Belize Family Life Association, or the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hi, Ramiro here again. On behalf of the Sales and Management Department here at Champion Security, I would like to extend a warm thank you for your valued business. We value your trust and confidence in us and sincerely appreciate you. We understand that investing means taking a big risk, and therefore we look forward to continue providing you with the best and highest quality when it comes to security products. We work to ensure that for the price you pay, you get the protection that you need. Nothing is better than living each day with a peace of mind. Champion Security, where your safety is our business.
Social Security, transforming service delivery. My Social Security is your secure online account to manage all your Social Security information. My Social Security launched in March 2021 with registration service to apply online for new or replacement Social Security cards. Upgrades to My Social Security continues with a new look, enhanced customer experience, and its newest feature, Sickness Benefit Online application. With My Social Security, you can create your account, log in, and take control of your Social Security information. This includes applying for a new or replacement Social Security card for yourself, child, or dependent. Make appointments online and submit your complete sickness benefit claim package. Our customer care team is here to provide you, our valued customers, with real-time support. Connect with one of our customer care agents through direct messages on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or live chat, or follow our YouTube channel for more information, tutorials, and guides. A complete 360 view of your Social Security information is coming soon, which includes a new employer portal for employers, businesses, and self-employed persons, contributions history and statements, all SSB benefits, medical portal for registered doctors, and fingerprint enrollment all in one place. Social Security at your fingertips. The significant enhancement of service delivery to you is here. My Social Security.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
This morning, the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry met with the media to discuss the new minimum wage regime that will come into effect at the beginning of the new year. Notwithstanding the establishment of a minimum wage task force, as well as a consultancy to determine the best approach to introducing the schedule change, the BCCI has come forward to share its concerns. According to President Marcella Blake, the new $5 hourly wage should be introduced systematically.
It must be done in a phased manner. It has to be done gradually over time, and also for there to be triggers. So there's a formula that we're recommending should be looked at. Doesn't necessarily have to be used, but at least it's a guiding note for the government to be able to then put the triggers in place so that we're not in this position where 10 years has passed since the last increase. The Chamber supports the increase. We are just saying it has to be gradual so that our members can adjust to the economic strains that they will definitely be faced with.
Okay, sir, I think we also need to hammer home as well that this was the position of an entire working group as compared to not only the Chamber's position.
Yeah, you need all the players at the table to be able to have the varying views. At the end of the day, the Chamber is there to represent its members and the business community, and we are supportive of the change. We just need to make sure that our members are well represented in that discussion. The politicians, as usual, continue to what Dion refers to as speech framing, which is they get out there and they say what they want to say, and then the public takes it as facts, when in fact there's a process. Why go out and make certain pronouncements when you have a task force that was assigned? Let the process go through to the end before the politicians get out there and speak. I think that's what they need to take a look at. Obviously, for political reasons, it works for them. But at the end of the day, then deters those who may want to participate in the process to say, hey, if you're saying it's so, then it's so, and so there's no way we can change your mind. But in fact, for us, we need to continue to advocate for our members, and we continue to be at the table so that our voices can be heard.
Chamber's Chief Policy Analyst, Dion Elliott, weighed in on the potentially negative effects of the proposed adjustments, particularly where the employment of low-skilled workers is concerned.
There have been evidence in other jurisdictions where a too sharp change in the minimum wage overnight has led companies to say, well, instead of hiring 10 low-skilled workers, let's get 4 semi or high-skilled workers and reduce the hiring for those low-skilled workers, basically going completely contrary to the redistributive effect that the minimum wage policy was supposed to be protecting against anyway. So the employers and businesses are going to find ways to offset these costs. Another thing you may have is on you, the consumers. Some companies, I won't say which industries, have already started to prepare themselves to pass on prices to absorb the increased costs, right? There are at least 11 different things the empirical works and research in this area has shown can happen. Now, what you should ask the government is, which one of those is most likely to happen in Belize? Has that study been done? Do they have that evidence-based approach to determine which one of that? Is it inflation? I can tell you some of that has already started. So, in terms of effect, there is a cost component on, yes, the employers immediately, but there is also there's potential negative effects on the rest of the economy. You can have increase in efficiency, but that may come, hopefully not in a bad way, but that may come because employers are restructuring work to make people more productive. And we're hoping that that stays within a decent work realm.
It's been a little over 5 weeks since Hurricane Lisa battered central Belize. The Category 1 storm damaged a lot of schools, ripping off roofs and exposing the deplorable conditions in which some school buildings were. In an interview with the Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Education, we asked for an update on those 77 schools and getting the institutions back to normal.
We have 77 schools across the country that reported damage from Hurricane Lisa, different degrees of damage. The general estimate for those damages, the financial estimate was some $3 million in total. What we've seen so far is in some schools, what we saw is immediate community support. We saw people working together. The bulk of what needed to be done was cleaning. We all know this, we lived through it, right? And so in a lot of places, that general cleaning has taken place, and so school is back in session and everything. What we see are still watermarks. We still see ceilings where there's been evidence of leakage, but the school hasn't been able to restore. So we have that level of kind of return to normalcy. We have some situations, like for example, at Belize Rural Primary School, where their roof was a complete loss. And we've done the estimates. We have to do a complete repair, and we've seen where the initial estimate in cost has tripled what we thought it would be to what it actually is going to cost. So we're working toward that. The ministry is doing its best to support where it can. We have seen already donations and support from different organizations, in some cases financial support, and in some cases material support. Right? So actually this week coming, because we're moving into the Christmas break, we're going to be doing some outreach to touch base again with the schools and find out where are you, what do you need. Part of the reason the devastation was so significant was that we were looking at schools that had not been maintained. We're looking at school buildings that really had not been taken care of for a very long time. And that's why it was so devastating, because in many cases, the buildings themselves were weak and hadn't been restored. So now that they're being fixed, the goal, of course, is to make sure that they can be properly fixed. So that, again, if I use the Belize Rural Primary School as an example, when that roof has been repaired, that's going to be a hurricane shelter to withstand, any future disasters along the lines of Hurricane Lisa.
Education CEO Diane Mejia confirmed with News 5 that no learning gap was created despite the disruptiveness of Hurricane Lisa. This is because the school system has learned how to adapt to hybrid learning.
There was adjustment, and what we saw was that it was a lot smoother. I mean, I'm sure that there were people thinking, yeah, what's going to happen now? There were naysayers, but actually the transition was smooth. The teachers were ready. We know that a lot of teachers were personally affected too, and even with the personal losses that were endured across, especially the central region, as we know, we feel that the impact on the general education system was not anywhere near like a COVID loss. We don't feel like we lost a month of school. We really didn't. We were able to stay the course and to try to keep the children in school and engaged as much as possible. So we're grateful for that.
Just ahead, meet the young graduates of the Port Loyola Library Sewing Program.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include Cath Lab, Adult Intensive Care Unit, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
It started innocently. It looked fun. It looked cool. But then I got hooked. And it had its downsides. I couldn't keep up physically. It started to put a strain on my life and the lives of my loved ones. And I got sick. Really sick. And I realized I was losing. But I knew what I had to do.
How are we to measure the success of our lives? For many, an ordinary life should have the following: a job, a house, enough money to buy a new car. But what if we threw out the ordinary? What could escaping ordinary at our jobs do? How about for our marriages? What if I told you we could all be escaping ordinary? Join us as we begin our new series.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Smart introduces real unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Over the weekend, the first cohort of primary school children graduated from a sewing program at the Port Loyola Library in Belize City. The program was successful with support from Optimus International. Optimus Club 501 Belize is a group consisting of Belizeans in country and in the diaspora who are giving back to the community. The success of the sewing program will see it expanded to other parts of the country in 2023. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
The most important thing we learned that for him, Miss put no pressure on it, but she said that how the most important thing that for him and use your only grip and your strength. And another is like if you're handing a needle to somebody, don't put the sharp part by them, switch it, and you give them the part which you should go through. If not, you can hurt the person. And when you're sewing on the machine, you use 2 fingers. You try not to put it by the needle because your finger can go through the needle and you can get seriously injured by it.
Over the weekend, the Port Loyola Library successfully completed its inaugural sewing program for the youth in the neighborhood and hosted a graduation ceremony.
We decided that we needed some programs for the young people. We have quite a bit of program for our young children, but we wanted something different. We wanted something that they can use after they have left the library, something that they will enjoy as well, and also they can even create their own business. We are looking at entrepreneurship for our young people.
Support for the program came from Optimus Club 501 Belize, whose member not only provided sewing machines, but also the teacher who carried out the lessons with the children.
We're always looking for programs where we can give our youth life skills. In this case, it was a vocational skill in the form of sewing. So we were very happy when one of our Optimist members, Miss Ursula Griffith, shared with us that she had the skill of sewing. She was also a member of the Port Loyola Library, and they were looking to initiate some of their summer programs, and we found that we could contribute in that way.
Present at the graduation ceremony was Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Education, Diane Mejia, who says that programs like these help to create well-rounded children.
We have to do more than, as you said just now, look at just what's in books and what's in regular schooling. Our move right now toward competency-based education is really, linked to all of this. This is what it's about. It's about learning what's relevant. It's about learning what can help you in life. The skills that these young people have learned are not just about, sewing on a button or fixing a hem. They've learned some history, they've learned math, they've learned reasoning and critical thinking, and this is what we need to encourage all around.
Optimist Club 501 Belize also handed over 8 new sewing machines to expand the sewing program come 2023.
The first round was donated from one of our diaspora members, Miss Lisa Castanedes, and Miss Ursula shared continuously in our Optimist chat group the progress of the kids. And so we had a new Optimist member come on, Mr. Anthony Murphy, who is also a diasporan, and he was so inspired by what he was seeing, the skills that the kids were picking up and how excited they were, that he decided that he was going to donate an additional 8 machines so that we can expand the program to other areas in the country. So at this point, we're looking at Cayo and PG.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.